laughing now.
I'm trying to do the breathy laugh too.
Breathy laugh.
We don't have a name or an introduction. We don't have a name or an introduction. We don't have a name or an introduction. Alright, so let's do a public service announcement on drivers.
Yes.
Driving? Or
'cause
cars or traffic? Or angry road rage?
You know what? I would say definitely with the driving, because both you and I,
Oh,
we drive a lot.
Don't forget to be breathy.
Oh, I have to be breathy.
Okay.
And breathy.
And louder.
Oh God, you can't have both. It's one or the other.
You have to be like this.
Well,
We have to be. It's a breathy podcast.
it's all about the breath.
Yes. Like Marilyn Monroe. Drive on the 403. I tried to stay on the right lane. To go very slow.
If Marilyn Monroe was a Russian.
It was a Russian breathy person living in Toronto.
What I was saying was that we both drive a lot in our profession.
Yes.
I'm sure we see a lot of fun things on the road, so I wanted to talk about some of my experiences.
Please go ahead. Let's share.
Um,
And not like the singer.
oh man, she's awesome.
I know.
My thing is common courtesy on the roads. They don't exist anymore. And the ironic thing is everybody's like, oh, Canadians, they're so nice. Have you met a Torontonian on the road? Like, they are, am I allowed to say
Yes.
Can you like bleep it out? They are complete
If I keep bleeping.
can't beep it every time. They're such assholes. That's exactly how I get with road rage. Like, it's mind-boggling. If you have your indicator on,
Yeah.
right?
To merge.
Yeah.
Or you're asking permission. Is it okay if I go on this lane? And most of the time, the drivers are like, you. Go yourself. This is my road.
I know.
And what you end up doing, instead of asking to merge, you take it.
Yeah.
You look, calculate it in your head,
Yeah.
and then you turn on the blinker as you merge,
Whether you like it or not.
whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And then just watch them panic.
Exactly. So, what was it? Last week, I always drive on the slow people's lane because I'm a careful driver. So, I'm in the right lane and obviously coming up ahead, a turn off. Now, I'm directionally challenged. So, this is obviously already an issue. So, I've been indicating for like God knows how long to go onto the left lane so I cannot exit. And this decides that I'm just going to like drive the same pace as you. So as I'm trying to speed up, he starts speeding up, and now there's a guy in front of me, so I can't speed up anymore. So I start like slowing down, and what does he do? He slows down. So now I'm already on my way to work, obviously half an hour late because I just cannot leave on time because I always run island time. I have to now exit off the highway, go around to some exit, go onto some random path that I don't even know where I'm going now. Have to like get back on the highway. Thank God. Even if I'm going 10 minutes away from where I live, I always keep my GPS on. But to that guy, dude, not only did you make me late than I already was, but I got lost. Even with the GPS, I am still lost. Like, where do I go? Which lane should I be in? I do not know. So yeah, it's common courtesy. And
Did you
it's like,
see what kind of car it was?
it was just like a black car.
Like a regular sedan?
Yeah, but I want to say that like it's probably a BMW.
Oh.
I swear, like their indicators, they just don't work at all in a BMW car.
No. They don't know how to use them.
It's like the second you step into a BMW,
Yeah.
you do not, like the indicator just
Your
does
brain
not work.
just is different.
I don't, you become like a
Oh my god. You know what I do? I just crank up my music. If somebody pisses me off on the road, if they do some dumb shit and I'm like, I put on the song,
Yeah.
put down all my windows, and we're on a red light, I'm annoying the shit out of them. I'm putting whatever music I'm listening to and you're gonna listen with me.
Oh, that's
Like
awesome.
it or not.
I like that. I sometimes do the slow clap.
You're more dramatic.
Good job.
I'm just annoying.
So that was my public service announcement for the day. Don't be an ass.
Don't be an ass. Share the road.
I know.
Driving is not a right. It's a
Yeah,
privilege.
It is a privilege, and some people are so like
Be kinder to your fellow other drivers.
with the breathiness.
Breathiness of Marilyn Monroe. Oh, every time I drive, I get men following me home. I don't know. I guess you would.
I guess you would. I wonder, would a guy actually like follow a chick?
I do recall in high school,
Mm-hmm.
when we were like 16, 17, I remember this guy, his name was Kirill, and he was telling us a story how he was just driving and he saw like a cute girl in the car. I think it were like friends. There were a couple of them in there. And he was like waving to them. He's like, oh, hello, you know, like cute girls. And they kind of like sped off. So he's like, oh, I'm going to follow them, you know, like,
Oh,
hello. Like, he's like all naive, you know, like,
Yeah.
oh, the friends, you know. So he follows them. And he like waves to them. He's like, oh, try to be friends with them, I guess. Try to pick them up.
Yeah.
And then they pull into a plaza and there's police there. And he's like, oh, they probably called the cops on him. He's like, oh, never mind. So don't follow people.
So you want to know something funny? I used to do a lot of long distance driving, right? And all over southern Ontario. I would find a car and I would not really tail them, but I would follow them because we were both going the same direction. And I will develop like an emotional relationship with
Yeah.
this car because now we're friends. Okay, you're doing this. I see you, red car. I see you, red car. I feel you, red car. What's that in front? Thank you, red car. And then when they exit and I still have to go, I'll be so heartbroken. I'll be like, no, goodbye, my friend, until I see you next time. This was my very, very, very first date. And so it was this dude that I worked with. I had the hots for him because, you know, back in the day, dude had piercings, dude had tattoos. My friend was the one that I set it up because I'm like a big chicken, the thing. And she's like, you know what'll be great? If your very first date was a double date. Okay, that'll help because, you know, at least
Yeah,
I'll
it's not
get
as
the nerves
awkward,
and,
you know.
Yeah, you know. We go to said movies, and so me and her guy goes, and the guy that I was supposed to go out with is supposed to meet us there. Oh, it was Drag Me to Hell. This is
Oh, a
the
horror
year. This
movie?
was the movie that we were supposed to see. And so we go in, and so now we're waiting, and so I get texted him. I'm like, hey, so when are you coming? No response.
Oh, no.
So, about an hour waiting, less than an hour, it came to the realization that my date was not showing up. And to make matters worse, my friend that was there, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go home. And she's like, no, don't leave me. Wait, hold on. No, don't leave me. In that exact same tone.
Daddy.
Daddy, don't leave me. So now, me being the person that can't say no, I'm like, okay, I'll stay. I am now the third wheel on their first date, and I'm just like awkwardly just hanging out watching this like crappy scary movie. And the two of them are now like
You were like,
making-
I wish I was this lady.
Literally.
Being dragged to hell. You're
I'm
like,
like,
why can't we switch places?
That's exactly what it was. That was the story of my very first date, and then it just went all downhill from there because it took like a permanent track record, and I just kept on getting stood up and stood up and stood
no.
up to the point
Yeah,
where
it's like one of those things when you drive and you get a yellow light and then you just keep on getting yellow lights.
exactly that's exactly what happened to me.
Okay, I'm so oblivious.
Yeah.
This one guy, I had no idea that it was supposed to be a date.
That happens to me all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Because Maria likes to go to salsa clubs.
Yeah.
So I went to a salsa club with her, and I was wearing a red dress and heels because we're supposed to. It's a dress code.
Mm-hmm.
So I met this guy there,
Mm-hmm.
and he's from Argentina, and he's interesting. We're all having a good time. He's like, yeah, let's. But I thought we were friends, so I did I dress up like this, like a homeless woman, and I show up, and I even forget to put on sneakers. I have like my safety shoes on, and I go meet him, and he's like, "Wow, you look totally different." I go from a red dress with heels to like this labor worker, and it's so funny. And then I realized, oh shit, it's a date. Or this guy at work, he's a coworker,
Yeah.
and he has a motorcycle. Let's hang out on Canada Day. Like, I've never been on a motorcycle before. I'm like, yeah, sure. We go, and he drove all the way to like Collingwood, so it was pretty fun. And then we go to a restaurant, and he's like, can I kiss you?
Oh no.
I'm like, oh.
At least he asked.
Yeah. And the craziest part is he asked me that after he almost choked on water. So he's like all coughing up all this bullshit. And then he's like, can I kiss you?
Oh my god, this is great.
And I was like, no. And then he drove me home, and I'm like, bye.
Oh.
I'm so oblivious. I had no idea.
See, I get you. So we worked together, and he had a thing for me, but when we first started hanging out, right, he would talk to everybody else but me.
Like girls or...
All the girls, but he never talked to me, and I'm like, he clearly hates my guts. So like I broke the ice, and I started talking to him, and we started talking about like horror films, because we both liked horror films and zombies and all that fun stuff. And so he wanted to go watch like some movie, and I think it was like Zombieland. Oh, that's great. So what I do is like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, we're friends now, right? And he just asked me for a movie. So what I do what any normal logical person would do, and I invited the whole department.
Hey, we're going to a movie. You wanna come?
And then when I met him there, I'm like, hey, so Hannah and this other person is joining us. And he's like, what? And then I'm like, and then I go over the list, and he's like, there's more. I'm like, yeah.
I love that the guy's like, all right, I'll see you there. And then you invite everybody, and you're like, all right, we're here. Let's buy this bulk ticket. And he's like, oh, I wore my good underwear today too for this.
Exactly. Oh my god. Everybody needs to be bankrupt. Like, everybody.
At least once.
At least once.
Everybody should claim bankruptcy at least once.
Just for the thrill of it.
Because 7 years goes by so quick. And when you claim bankruptcy, you'll be amazed how many people will call you and hang up on you.
I actually would prefer if people would hang up on me, because when those telemarketers call, hello, duck cleaning.
Duck cleaning.
Have you had those calls?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I tell them I live on a boat.
Thank you. So he calls in, and he's like, hello ma'am, calling about your duck cleaning. I'm like, ducks? I don't have any ducks. He goes on, and I'm like, I legit thought he was talking about like quack quack ducks. And so I went off on a tangent talking about ducks. Like, why would I have ducks? There's like, I live in a condominium. Like, we don't have ducks here. We're not allowed. Like, I went all off, and then like, it was like click. And then only after he hung up on me did I realize that he meant duct cleaning. So,
Oh.
but I would want to have my ducks
How
cleaned.
did you know about my ducks?
Like, how did you know about my ducks?
But I just picture this. I just picture like somebody's at home sitting around, whatever. Their parents are away. Somebody calls, right? And they're like, about the duck cleaning. And he's like, I'm gonna prank this. The guy on the phone gets angry. He's like, oh, screw you, buddy. And then everybody hangs up, and then the parents come in. Did the duck people call? Because we have a contract, and they were supposed to show up soon.
Imagine that.
Well, one thing I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watch the news or you read an article, and they use, let's say something happens to a person. like they get kidnapped or they die or they save somebody.
Yeah.
And they post pictures of these people.
Yeah.
Has it ever crossed your mind, like, what picture of me are they gonna use if it was me?
Oh God, I'm just hoping. I'm just hoping. There's only one good picture that I have, and it's on my LinkedIn profile. So I'm just hoping that they use that picture because I look like a semi-normal human being. Everything else,
So you
it's like.
thought about this?
Of course, I thought about this.
I
As
just
a
wonder
person-
how many people think about this.
As a person who gets told daily that, girl, you are a kidnapper's dream, you have to think about these things. It may happen. It may not. I do not know.
I hope
but
not.
I
Anyway,
hope not.
see ya.
Bye.
Have a nice walk.
Have a nice walk.
There's a van over there, but I think he's selling candy.
Oh wait, free candy? What? Yes, let's go. I
Let's
love
go.
free candy.
And we never heard from Rhonda again.
Exactly. So yeah, so I've thought about it. I've actually thought about like what picture would they use for my obituary as well. And I'm like, I hope it's a good one because
I
I gotta
know.
go take like some good pictures.
It's
Just
gonna
went
be
dark
baby
fast.
pictures of you. Not saying jinx, but like, because I'm talking about this, and like a week later, one of our pictures goes up on the news.
I hope not. I really hope not.
That'd be
But
so scary.
But yeah. The camera angling, he's like, arch your back, fix your hair, and I'm like,
Pout your lips.
pout your lips
Take
and
out
like
your
smile,
tits.
but don't smile. And yeah, take out like what tits? I'm like, these are all stuff like start taking out like smile like those pads.
Put it
Those
back
pads-
in. Put it back in.
What are those things? The silicone pads? Just put it out like this. Here they are. Flapping in the wind.
And that's the picture that goes on the news.
That's a picture of some crazy lady with like, what is it, like bralette inserts? Waving it in the air.
And that's the picture they
That's
use.
the picture.
We don't have a name or an introduction. We don't have a name or an introduction. We don't have a name or an introduction.